do you hear me?
Yes, Jubala.
So very good. So, pleasure telling everybody. We are all in Bardo now. So everybody know that we have the 6 different Bardos, from the longest journey and the most beautiful Bardo or intermediate state is the Geshe Bardo, Tibetan called Geshe Bardo, right? Which means the birth until the death. It's Milarepa said that Bardo of the path. This Bardo you can study, you can practice, you can do the meditation, you can do the retreat. But in advice, from the heart advice, the Yogi Milarepa said, you have to choose the 3 root. The root of the blessing, to trying to found the good Lama, that Lama that you can trust, that Lama that you can have the belief and faith in order to guide your mind, your consciousness, this life after, and the Bardo intermediate state. So Milarepa said it is the very important to having the root Lama, or you have at least the good Lama. So Kambopa say, if you don't want to call as a root Lama, then at least that you're having the good Lama that you can really trust. And this is the first condition. In order to practice Vajrayana, the entire, especially the 6 Bardos, and from the 6 Bardo, the most important is the Milarepa called the Bardo of the path to the enlightenment is the from birth until the death. And Milarepa, Yogi Milarepa's Bardo teaching, you remember? He said, you really need to conclude that to found and to decide to have the root Yidam, the root deities, the root deity which will give you the attainment siddhi. So we all wish to have siddhi, to wish fulfill, to attain something in this very lifetime, you know. So sometimes we hear many beautiful stories of the different deities. So everybody think that one better and that one better, but it's come from your heart, touching, feeling, moved by the first name you heard, first empowerment you received, first transmission you have got it, the most which moved in your mind, which was very touching. You should stay with that Yidam, is the advice of the Yogi Milarepa in the teaching of the Bardo. And then he also said, you need to found the root of the activities, which means to succeed all your practice, to become accomplished. We have doing 100,000 different things, but we have not yet accomplished. You have not accomplished that something that you're fully satisfied, that you are not searching anymore, that we are not yet. So that's why you need the Dakini, which will to be able to your all the practice and your all the spiritual path to become accomplished in this very lifetime. So Lama Yidam Khandro, Guru Deva Dakini is the journey of the now, the Bardo, which calls the Tibetan Geshe Bardo, the from birth until death is the very, very important. So we are in this Bardo now. Anyway.
各位法友大家好，我们今天继续来讲六中阴最后第3讲各位吉祥如意。那我们这边要讲的是中阴呢其实里面很重要的就是我们现在所处的这个生有中阴，也就是从生到死这个中阴阶段呢，是让我们可以修行能够获得智慧的，也就是所谓的道中阴，根道果的道路的道。那在这段时间是可以让我们来研读佛法，来修持佛法，那可以来闭关的。所以在这个弥勒日巴给我的根本的一个教言呢，就是我们要好好的跟随着3根本，也就是上师、本尊、空行。首先讲到上师的部分，是有关我们对于有信心的上师，他能够真正引导我们的心性的一个上师。那他提到，如果你没有一个没有一个根本的上师的话，那么起码也要有一个好的上师，你能够升起前进心的。这个也是很重要的。那除了这个之外呢，这个我们也要认一个很重要的一个根本的一个本尊，来帮助我们得到成就。那本尊呢，这个主要的本尊怎么来找呢？可能是我们在我们第一个得到灌顶的本尊，或者是在灌顶口传法教的时候，我们内心的触动，我们的感动最大的这个本尊，可以以修那一个本尊为主。在弥勒日巴祖师的教言，他提到中阴的教授呢，是我们要有一个根本的修行，以便我们在中阴能够得到成就。因为这一生我们做的事情太多了，可是我们却没有能够承办任何一件事情来获得解脱。所以在这个时候，我们就要依仰赖的空行的助力来帮助我们，协助我们，让我们一切的修持能够在此生获得结果，能够获得成就。所以再回到这个他所讲的，就是要依止3根本，上师、本尊、空行是非常非常的重要的。这个就是六中阴的这一个此生中阴呢，这个非常重要的地方。刚讲到说是解脱道的中阴，因为它是可以帮助我们获得解脱的。那我们等一下越南翻译。
cầu nữa. Thì ở đây chúng ta thấy rằng là bổn tôn sẽ là đối tượng chính yếu để chúng ta nương tựa, và từ đó chúng ta có thể thu hoạch được những thành tựu. Và thứ ba là Dakini hay là không hành. Thì ở đây chúng ta thấy rõ ở trong tam căn thì sẽ có 3 đối tượng chính, đó là bổn sư, bổn tôn và bổn không hành, Guru, Dewa, Dakini. Và đây là 3 đối tượng mà chúng ta cần phải dốc lòng tin tưởng, nỗ lực hành trì công phu và nương tựa ở trong suốt cái giai đoạn mà chúng ta gọi là sinh tử trung hữu này, hay Đức密勒日巴gọi là đạo lộ trung hữu.
And so that is very important. And then, as I said, now last time we talked in the Bardo teaching, the Tibetan it's called the Sheto. Shiva means the peaceful deities. Tro means the wrathful deities. So the 100 deities with a different syllable, different form, and different head with the different animals and different hand attributes. All these are in the Bardo teaching say from after the death until 49 days, we will have all this appearance one by one, right? So it's not easy to recognize all these 100 deities. In the teaching of Dhammakip, it say even if you try to recognize all these 100 deities with a name, color, directions, but you will not manage after the death it will be not that easy as you now write down on the paper, what you write down on your book. It will not that much easy. So in the teaching from the Dharmakirti text, Jigong Dharmakirti, from the Naro Yoga, which calls the words of the Naropa, he said the intelligent way that you should learn the very carefully, nicely, the five family Buddha with the Sambhogakaya form and the five Herukas, which is also Sambhogakaya form. You see, the five family Buddha has the Nirmanakaya form, Sambhogakaya form. The five Herukas has not the Nirmanakaya form, but five Herukas, you also can learn the different name of the Yidams, right? So, for example, you have Hayagirva, Vajakalaya, all those are the form of the Yidam that you can practice, do the recitation, collection of the mantra, and you have the Drupon, sadhana, and you have the fire puja, etc. Right? This is called the five Herukas with the count for the 8 Herukas. The 8 Heruka of the new translation of the teaching from Kagyupa and Sakya, etc. And also Nyingmapa, the old translation, are those 5 Herukas are the not different than the 5 wrathful Herukas, but the different thing is the 5 wrathful Heruka, you do not have the special sadhana that you can practice, recite the mantras, accumulate the mantras to do the Drupon, such things not that much. Those 5 wrathful Herukas, you have to engage in, and that you have to apply to make experience until that you really feel within your the 5 aggregate, with your 5 element, and with your 5 sense and sense object. So that's why it's not like sadhanas that you can practice. For example, Ratna Heruka, Karma Heruka, and Petma Heruka, Buddha Heruka, Vajra Heruka can be same, like if you say Vajakalaya, Hayagirva, and so on, so etc. But we note this term that Dharmakirti said, intelligent way or easiest way that you should not go through the yid as yidam, rather your 5 aggregate and your 5 element, and your 5 sense and sense object. So that's why it's very important. Those 5 called the Sambhogakaya form with the wrathful. The Sambhogakaya form has the 5 peaceful and 5 wrathful. Understand me? So the Nirmanakaya form of the 5 family Buddha is not in the Bardo teaching. It can be that practice we normally as a daily life as Buddha, that you have the sadhana and you have the mantra recitation and so etc. So we need to know a little different. So in the Bardo teaching, the 5 family Buddhas, 5 Dhyana Buddha, the first one is the 5 peaceful with the 5 which calls 5 Lungu. Lungu means Sambhogakaya, right? So this is Dharmakirti say, if you know that 5 family Buddha, very clear, and try to meditate, try to do there is no special sadhana you need to do, but do the short mantras, each one Buddha's name. So it can truly, through that practice, you can engage, you can integrate. So all the peaceful Buddhas is belong to the 5 Sambhogakaya peaceful Buddhas. All the peaceful Buddhas, accordingly, if you can call, is 46 peaceful Buddhas, what you call sometimes 42 peaceful Buddhas. Sometimes they call it 42. Then you have the 58. The blood in the text normally called not only Hiruka, but even they're translated blood drinkers, right? Blood drinker means Hiruka. But sometimes you have the 46 peaceful deities. Then you might have the 54 the blood drinker. Chaktung means the blood drinker means that they're Hirukas. So all of them, different form, different head, different arms, different colors, whatever, different directions, it's belong to the 5 family wrathful Buddha, 5 family peaceful Buddha. So if you carefully read the Samatha Mantra prayer saying everything come from the 5 emotions, right? The 5 mental afflictable emotion, the 5 mind process even go back to the your ignorance, Marikpa Tibet call, right? So that's why it's very important to know that at least the 10, the Buddha, peaceful and wrathful, you will not have big problem with all others because these 10 Buddhas are the boss. So that's why it's very important. Otherwise, if you learn each one, you can learn, there's Tanga, there is text. But problem is after the death or the near to the death, you may not manage it. You may not manage it, or you become, very confusing because you may not recognize them as now. So that's why now in this teaching system with our text, and I teach through the 2 different texts because combination, and you should be knowing that 5 peaceful Buddha, 5 wrathful Buddhas are really, really, really clear. So last time we have sent the photos, name, right? So yesterday even we talked about some exercise. So the exercise we need to maybe learn more. So these are very important. So the 5 family Buddhas, the exercise also Milarepa said, means that through the body and through the channel to chakra, you have to train that Buddhas, feel the 5 the Nirmana Kaya form of the Buddha. So please remember that very clear beginning. That's really necessary. That's really necessary. You remember, Rechungpa told to Milarepa, I did everything, I prepared everything, but he said, right? So Milarepa said, actually, be honestly, the life after death is the more important than now. So you should really considering very much that how to manage after the death. Nobody can manage for you. You have to manage yourself. So that's why the 5 Buddha of the family, wrathful and peaceful, if you know that, and then it's very easy to manage all these 100 deities. Really no problem, I tell you. We can be very sure there is no histories, no kind of the things that one of those others has taken away. Only if you do not know the 5 family Buddhas are peaceful and wrathful, that's the problem. Okay? So that's why please study this one very carefully.
那我们讲到这个中阴的阶段呢，我们讲到shitro， 那 shi 就是极尽的意思，tro 就是愤怒，也就是我们一般讲的文武百尊。那文武百尊各有它的种子字，不同的外相，不同的身形颜色的头，一般很多都是动物头的愤怒尊，那也拿着不同的法器，在49日当中死亡之后的49日之内呢，会一一出现。 但是直供法称过去曾提醒我们要在生的时候能够记住他们的名号啊、方向啊、颜色、法器等等呢。虽然我们在生的时候好好的研习，但是死后却不容易记住。不能说只是在纸上写下这个名号我们就可以了。那在这个他讲到的是那洛瑜伽里面呢，这个那洛巴祖师的教言是我们要小心的来修持。如果说我们要修的话，应该要修持五方佛的报身佛，除了五方佛之外，还要修五赫鲁迦。那一般我们了解的化身之后，应该要了解他的报身，并且能够修这个报身。那这个五方佛我们都知道，但是赫鲁迦我想就是大家就知道是不同的本尊，包括了马头明王啊、亥姆等等的。那我们在旧教的时候，新旧义也就是宁玛派呢，只有五个赫鲁迦。那在那边是没有法本的。但是在后来在新义呢，我们可以做的就是持咒啊、闭关啊、火供。那新义派呢，包括了宁玛，包括了噶举、格鲁、萨迦等等呢，就有八大赫鲁迦。那在它本质上，八大赫鲁迦跟五赫鲁迦是一样的。那只是在这个旧义，就是宁玛并没有法本我们来修，那我们要好好的来应用，然后并且累积自己修持的这个经验，透过持咒等等，一直到我们觉得说我们自己的运有所改变，我们的运界处都有这种改变，有一种感受之后呢，这样子这个是重要的。那么五大佛部包括的五方佛包括的佛部、金刚部、宝生部、莲花部、结魔部等等五大金刚，就是比如遮那佛、不动佛、宝生佛、阿弥陀佛跟不空成就佛等等，或者是五大的赫鲁迦，包括了普巴金刚啊、胜乐金刚等等的。那这些是我们可以修的。那在对子供法称来讲呢，我们要做的并不是只修这个本尊，因为有文武百尊这么多个，我们怎么修？而是说，不管是说极静尊也好，愤怒尊也好，我们要用善巧的方法来修五大，也有用善巧的方法，也就是来修我们的五大跟五根，不管是五个本初佛、五方佛，或者是五个赫鲁迦。那我们在这个中阴的阶段，我们最重要的就是要对这个五个极静尊、五个愤怒尊的佛，那要能够很清楚的修持。那法称也讲到说，我们如果能够修五个极静的本尊，也就是五方佛的话，修他们报身佛，好好的观修，要好好的持咒。虽然没有法本，但是我们好好的持咒的话，这个也就可以了。因为一切的极静尊都是属于这个五方佛这个极静尊的。那一切的愤怒尊也就是来自于五大赫鲁迦的。所以不管你讲说极静尊有多少，愤怒尊有多少，56、52相对于48或者是46以及54加起来100个文武百尊也好，他们有不同的头、不同的颜色、不同的法器，那如何能够一一记住呢？所以呢在普贤如来祈愿文、普贤愿文里面讲到，一切都是来自于我们的五大烦恼。所以包括无明也是一样，最根本的无明。所以重要的对于我们修行人来讲呢，我们要记住要修五方佛的报身佛、五个极静尊以及五愤怒尊、赫鲁迦，这个是最重要的。赫鲁迦又名饮血尊。所以如果我们想要学五百尊的话，在临终的时候或者死亡终生，有的时候没有办法记住这些文武百尊，所以我们自己的头脑会变得非常的混乱，很混淆。 所以呢，是比较简单的、比较善巧的方法，就是修5个极静的5方佛以及5个愤怒尊的赫鲁迦。那这样子应该要好好的来观修，他们的名号啊、他们的形象等等的。那弥勒日巴祖师过去曾讲说，我们这个身体啊，要这身上的气脉啊等等，要好好的来修5方佛，这个是很重要的。但是他的弟子的琼巴曾经报告弥勒日巴说，我每天都在准备这一切，为临终为来世来做准备。那弥勒日巴就回应他说，死亡之后的时间比现在更加重要，所以你现在就要好好准备死亡之后的要怎么办。那在那个时候只有自己可以帮助自己，所以如果我们今生能够好好的修持5个极静的5方佛跟他们愤怒化身的5个慧鲁迦的话，那这样子就可以掌握文武百尊的要领。那如果对这个过程这个5方佛5个赫鲁迦不清楚不了解的话，那可能就是一个比较大的问题了。我们等一下越南翻译。
Và mới nhắc rằng là tuy nhiên cuộc đời sau cái chết cũng rất là quan trọng, cho nên là đây là cái chỗ mà chúng ta cần phải hiểu được tầm quan trọng của ngũ trí Như Lai và ngũ trí Minh Vương. Thì thầy sẽ chia sẻ với chúng ta những giáo lý này dựa trên 2 bản văn trong sự kết hợp giữa 2 bản bình giảng để chúng ta có thể nắm được ý chính.
So now, last time you heard that in the Bardo teaching of our teaching and Bardo total, the liberating of the Bardo from the Nyingma tradition. So the 5 family Buddha, the first 5 peaceful Buddhas coming immediately after the death, even during the 3 days, first 3 days, you already have the 3 appearance. Okay, so the 3 appearance actually it's coming with the 5 family Buddha, of course, but in the traditional way, the teaching, especially in the Naro Yoga and Niku Yoga, and those who the Bardo teaching, which is belong to the Zorim, which means the completion stage system. Say the first you will appearance 3 Buddha. The 3 Buddha, which means the 3, which represent the 3 kayas. So that means first you're going to have appearance, actually Samadabhadra or Vajradhara is same. It come with a peaceful, it can be also wrathful. So the Samadabhadra, the wrathful is really, really wrathful. Okay, you know Chemchok? Many of you know maybe Chemchok. It's called the Mahahiruka. Mahahiruka is the wrathful form of the Samadabhadra. Okay, Samadabhadra, you know, Kundusambo, with his consort. So if you do not know that, the first day, if come the Samadabhadra as wrathful form, we get completely shocked. So that's why you need Lama, if it's possible, near to you or somebody dying, you have to tell, now the Buddha will visit you. Don't be afraid, don't be shocked, don't be, afraid. So it's very important. So the first day, even after the breathing stop, the appearance comes the Buddha, either peaceful or wrathful. It's up to your karmic. So that's why many of you know the Samadabhadra and Samadabhadri, the consort, right? Because where you need to learn true in the Bardo, the 2 bindus, our white bindu, red bindu will meet in our heart center when we die. So this is the true nature of the Buddha, female Buddha and male Buddha. This is the true nature of our wisdom and method. This is the true nature of our male and female energy, you know. So in order to take rebirth, we need this both. One single cannot be done. So that's why the Buddhas will be with a consort, unified Buddhas to appear. So in the text say, so first is you need to learn which Buddha first coming. No matter what part of the text you see, there's many part of text, many commentaries, but trying to make easy way, trying to make experiential way, not the comment or not through the commentary, not through the explanation of the philosophers, but trying to with the practical way. So if you need to look to the completion stage text. The completion stage is the Naro Yoga, for example, and the Niguma Yoga. The both of them is the one of the very, very, let's say, very authentic or very considering that which is a very good one, right? So here say the first Buddha which appears, it's very important. So Mahahiruka. So you look at and you watch that how looks like it. In Samatha Bhatri, you know that, right? So we have to manage at least having the knowledge that is very, very important. This Buddha, it's called the Dharmakaya. So if you are a good practitioner, just after the stop the breathing, you can get the meet the Dharmakaya. So it's very important to think about now. Actually, the best one to meet the Dharmakaya. So it's the Chuku, Tibetan called Chiva Chuku Lamkyer. That taking the path, the dying is the path to the realization of the Dharmakaya. So that we can do if you really now meditate the both Buddha, wrathful and peaceful Buddha of the Buddha Samathabhadra, Dharmakaya. So in the text say that will be the first day. Understand? Second day, you will have the appearance of the Buddha Vairocana. As this time, Vairocana is the Sambhogakaya. Sambhoga, the three kayas comes first. Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya. If you cannot recognize all three, then coming all these guys. All these guys, so it's very complicated. That's why. So second is the Mahavairochana. That's why it's called Mahavairochana. We not just call the Vairochana, Mahavairochana, right? The Mahavairochana or Mahabuddha Hiruka. Mahabuddha Hiruka. So Hiruka, but Mahabuddha Hiruka. So that will be the Buddha of the Sambhogakaya. So the Bardo, if you cannot meet the after stop the breathing, your parents, you can help, your other people, you can tell that would be very good. If it's not happen that, so the first Bardo, it's called the first Bardo. The first Bardo means second day. So already the second day is the first Bardo means that you can have the appearance of the Buddha Vairochana is the Sambhogakaya, Tulgu, Melungu. So Bardo Lungu Lamkyer. Now the Bardo, this part of the Nirman Sambhogakaya. Understand? So you have to learn that either Mahavairochana and his consort, or you need to learn the Mahahiruka Buddha and his consort. And that is very powerful white color, right? So the Buddha's picture, ornament, and the motors, you have got it. I said that was your homework. So you have learned, everybody, I'm very sure. If you have not learned that, and that is a problem, it's not my problem. Next time we make tests. But please, easy. Don't take all Tanga, all Buddha names, but try to notice that. These are really important. And so second day already appears that. Understand? So this is that you need to know, you need to learn. Very important, which calls the Nirmana Sambhogakaya. If you can achieve that, If you can recognize that, or if somebody can recognize that, you do not have the Bardo. You don't need to go to the 49 days. Second day, you can already achieve the Bodhisattva's level or Bodhisattva's stage. So you become Nirmanakaya. Your mind become Nirmanakaya, so you can travel through the Buddha's pure land. Understand? So this is very, very important. So now, if that not happens, the third day, the day of third day comes Buddha Archabhya. So last time, somebody asked me, why Buddha Archabhya put the hand like this? You know, like Buddha Shakyamuni, the ground touching the mudra. This time, because he represent Nirmanakaya, or even the form looks like the Sambhogakaya, but it represents Nirmanakaya, Drugu. Tibetan is called Drugu. So you need to know that is the Vajra, is the Buddha Archya and his consort, right? Mamaki, whatever. So you have it. So I don't repeat everything. So learn that, recognize that, try to remember that. So this is very, very important. Okay. Om Archabhya Hum mantra, you remember? So try to think about that. Or it comes the Vajra Hiruga. The Vajra Hiruga, here we don't call the Maha. We just call the Vajra Hiruga. We also don't call the Maha Archabhya. We call the Archabhya, well, not called Ma. It's now already part to the taking the rebirth. So Nirmanakaya means. And from here, if you recognize that day, third day, this Buddha Archabhya, or in the other text say Buddha Vajrasattva. So the Tibetan tradition, we do the both ritual after the death. We use the either Archabhya or Vajrasattva is the first ritual you can do normally. So these are the very important, because if you cannot catch the Dharmakaya as Samadhabhadra and Mahahiruga, second, if you cannot catch Nirmanakaya, Mahavirachana, and the Mahabuddhahiruga, then the third one is the Archabhya, Buddha Archabhya and his consort, okay? But the Hiruga is the Vajra Hiruga. And so you see, if you can recognize that, all the 100 deities, whatever, you do not need necessary to learn it. So 3 kayas you need to achieve. So if that not happens, and then go to the 49 days all the way, and then may have lots of appearance. So first these 3 is very, very important. So Chugu, Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya, okay? So Chukulungu Drugu Tibet ko Kusum Mundu Junichang, Jingam Sum Doyatsa, Milarepa said, remember? After the immediately death after, immediately stop your breath. You transform into the one of these kayas, and you can travel through the whole pure land of the Buddhas. So that would be very good. So now you remember these 3 Buddhas, okay? So Samadhabhadra, Virachana, Archabhya, first 3 is very, very important. So Samadhabhadra and Mahahiruga is not the 5 family Buddha. Then it's called the 6 families of the Buddha. So that's why you need to remember these are the first, very, very important. Try to think often. Really, I tell you, this is necessary, because we never know what happens. You know, it happens. Just I was this morning, early morning, before my breakfast, somebody called me, somebody died. So I was now in Zurich, and somebody brought me here with the very fast to the car. I thought maybe I cannot teach Bardo anymore. So I was thinking they will put me in Bardo, but he managed it.
Lần trước ở trong thầy có nhắc đến tạng thư sinh tử, hoặc là chúng ta nghe một số
我们继续来讲死亡之后会发生什么事情。那在宁玛中的法教，这个死亡之后的3个阶段显真德。首先出现的就是佛的3身：法身、报身跟化身的显现。那不管是说你修的五方佛，或者是纳豆瑜伽，或者是尼姑玛瑜伽，或者是圆满次第来好，也都好，在这个不同的法教有同样的一个过程。在这个显的这个阶段呢，是出现的普贤王如来、普贤佛，那他是以及他的佛母普贤佛母，或者是玛哈赫鲁嘎大赫鲁迦以及他的明妃。那他的赫鲁迦呢，普贤佛的愤怒尊的形象是非常愤怒、极度愤怒的。那如果说在我们事先不知道他的形象是如此愤怒，可能到时候见到的时候我们认不出来，不但认不出来，还会觉得很惊恐，很被吓到，因为是无比的愤怒的。那所以在这个在死亡的时候呢，一个很重要的法教就是告诉亡者这个佛会出现。在我们在这个时候要不要惧怕，不要害怕，不要恐惧等等。所以在我们系住麦庭的时候，我们会看到极静尊或者是愤怒尊的显现是依照我们自己个人的业而定的。在这个时候，我们红白菩提慢慢的往心中走，然后在心轮那边结合。那我们要知道，红白菩提代表是我们方便智慧的本源，也是我们男女的这个本质。所以我们在这个为什么在金刚圣里面常常看到佛父母双运，代表的就是这一个。所以我们首先要了解这一点过程。那无论你修的是哪一种仪轨呢，这个过程是一样的。我们要做的是实修，而不是说随便这样子看看听听。所以在圆满次第来讲，不管是说或者是说纳洛瑜伽，或者是尼姑玛瑜伽，都是非常重要、非常真实的法教。所以你可以依你自己的因缘跟这个合适的来修持，这都很重要的。那我们第一天死亡之后的第一天显现的就是法身佛，也就是普贤王如来，或者是以及他的佛母就是普贤佛母。那也有可能是愤怒尊，就是玛哈赫鲁嘎、玛哈大赫鲁迦以及他的明妃。那极静尊跟愤怒尊看到的就看我们个人的业来定。所以这个时候是法身佛的显现。如果说一个非常好的一个在生前一个非常好的修行者的时候，在契住麦庭的时候可以见到法身佛，那这样子就可以马上就得到这个法身的成就。所以我有一句话在讲说死亡是能够证得我们法身的道路的道理，就是在这里。所以我们这个在这个时候，这个平常是修的是普贤如来的愤怒尊。那如果说第一天没有把握住的话，就第二天就会出现报身佛。报身佛就是比如遮那佛这个报身形象。那他这个愤怒尊叫做 Maha Vairocana， 就是大比如遮那或者是说 Maha Buddha Heraka。那这个极静尊是 Maha Vairocana， 就是比如遮那佛，大比如遮那佛。那赫鲁迦呢，愤怒尊就是大佛赫鲁迦跟他的佛母。所以这个就是我们所谓讲的这个中阴了，就是第二天开始的这个第二中阴。因为这个时候如果法身这个阶段我们没有把握住了，我们就进入中阴。那所以这个时候是比如遮那佛 的显现，报身形象显现，所以我们对比如遮那佛的外相啊、颜色啊、手印、法器等等，应该要好好的修持，所以的修持好报身佛的这个形象。如果在那当下能够认出，我们就不用进到这个中阴的49天了，我们就可以证得菩萨果位，化身成就，然后到净土报身净土去。如果说第二天还没有把握住的话，我们就进入到第三天。第三天的显现的本尊的显现的佛，五方佛就是不动佛。过去曾有人问我说，为什么这个不动佛的手印就像释迦牟尼佛一样的触地印，说法的时候的触地印呢？那右手的触着大地，它这代表是它是化身佛的意思。所以不动佛以及他的佛母妈妈吉，那这个时候我们在有机会的话，要好好修学，好好的记住，以及他的咒语 Om Akshobhya Hum 等等，也记住他的名号。那我们这个时候的一切都是来自于金刚赫鲁迦的。那不管是你修不动佛也好，修金刚萨埵也好，也都可以的。那在这个时候，我们已经开始了到受生的这个道路上走了。所以我们在藏传佛教的传统，有些人在这个时候呢，第一个礼拜会修不动佛或者是金刚萨埵都是可以的。那所以这个过程就是第一天呢，第一次机会就是普贤王如来跟普贤佛母的出现，这个是极静尊。那愤怒尊的话就是马哈黑鲁嘎跟他的明妃。那如果法身佛没有把握住，就是报身佛，就是 Mahavajrachana， 就是比如遮那佛跟他的佛母，或者是 Mahabuddha Heruga 跟佛母，这个是愤怒尊的形象。如果报身佛还没有把握住的话，那我们就到了不动佛了。不动佛我们就不再叫 Mahaheruga 了，这个时候我们就叫 Vajraheruga， 就是金刚赫鲁迦，这是他的愤怒尊了。那如果了知的话，如果我们在这个时候能够把握住，就不用接下来49天呢要去记住这个文武百尊了。所以这个次序就是法身佛先显现，再报身佛显现，再化身佛显现。所以弥勒日巴祖师曾讲说，如果说我们的所学呢，能够转化自己三身的话，就能够往生净土，指的道理就是这样子。所以这个过程呢，这些五方佛呢，我们要好好的以及愤怒尊要好好的修学。因为我们不知道死亡以后会发生的什么事，就我来讲呢，无常是时常显现的。我昨天才从德国的弥勒日巴闭关中心然后回到苏黎世之后，有人往生就马上用车飞快的把我载到这边来，来为他们来修法。所以这个时候我们无常是不可以预期的，我们在有機會的時候要好好的修學。我們等一下越南翻譯。
Tưởng báo thân Phật nha. Và cho dù là Ngài có vị Phật mẫu, Ngài ôm lấy vị Phật mẫu đi chăng nữa, thì khi mà Ngài hiện bày xúc địa ấn thì riêng cái thân tướng mà hiện bày xúc địa ấn đó thôi đã đại biểu rằng là Ngài là hiện thân, Ngài là đại biểu cho hóa thân Phật, và Ngài sẽ xuất hiện với vị Phật mẫu của mình. Cho nên là lần trước là không biết là chúng ta có tìm hiểu câu chú Ngài chưa, là Om Akshobhya Hum. Chúng ta cố gắng chúng ta nhớ. Đây là những cái kiến thức rất là quan trọng đối với chúng ta. Và đồng thời á, Ái Xuất Bệ Như Lai Ngài còn có một cái phương diện Ngài có thể lưu xuất, Ngài có thể hiện thân. Đó chính là Kim Cang Minh Vương, tức là cái thân tướng hùng mạnh của Ngài. Lúc bấy giờ thì không có chữ đại đằng trước nữa, không có chữ Maha đằng trước nữa, chỉ là Kim Cang Minh Vương thôi. Và lúc này là lúc mà gọi là chuyển sinh rồi. Ngày thứ ba Ái Xuất Bệ Như Lai sẽ xuất hiện, nhưng trong một số sách, trong một số các cái kinh luận sẽ không để là Ái Xuất Bệ Như Lai mà để là Kim Cang Tác Đỏa, Vajrasattva. Do đó mà chúng ta thấy rằng ở trong
刚刚补充一下，刚
khi mà
刚
một
弥勒
người
日
mà
巴所讲的，
qua
告
đời
诉
chẳng
的
hạn,
琼
hoặc
巴
là
的，
trong
就
các
说
cái
契
lễ
助
mà gọi
麦
là lễ
庭
ca
之
tỳ
后，
thì
我
rất là
们
hay
如
cử
果
làm
能够
lễ
转化
lễ
成
A Xúc
三
Vậy Như
生的
Lai
话，
hoặc là
就能
Chánh
够
Pháp
往
Tọa,
生净土。
gọi là một cái bước gọi là để phòng.
指的就
Để
是
đề phòng
这
khi
一
mà ngày
个
thứ nhất bỏ
法
qua Phổ
身、
Hiền Như
报
Lai,
身、化身
bỏ
佛显
qua
现的
Đại
时
Thánh
候，
Minh Vương,
我们
rồi
能
ngày
够
thứ
认
hai
出
bỏ
这
qua
个
Đại
本
Nhật Như
质、这
Lai,
个本
bỏ qua Đại
性。
Giác Minh Vương, thì đến ngày thứ ba, đây chính là cái thời điểm của A Xúc Vậy Như Lai, đây chính là thời điểm của Kim Cang Minh Vương, đây chính là thời điểm của Kim Cang Tắc Đọa. Cho nên giống như là một cái bước để nhắc lại cho người đã mất. Cho nên là chúng ta thấy rằng là khi mà chúng ta có những cái kiến thức và những cái nhận thức về tâm thân Phật, thì tất cả mọi thứ sẽ dễ dàng hơn với chúng ta đỡ phải tìm hiểu một cách dàn trải xem là 100 vị hộ Phật như thế nào. Tổ密勒日Ba Ngài đã từng dạy rằng là ngay sau khi chết, các ông sẽ tiến vào tam thân Phật. Và nếu như
那这边也再另外补充一下，在过去噶千仁波切也曾经讲过法身破瓦、报身破瓦跟化身破瓦，他也讲过说破瓦的也有这三个。那法身破瓦就是要认出我们自己的自信。那这个可以当做竹本法教的一个补充。我们再等一下越南翻译。
Kim Cang Tắc Đọa hoặc là Kim Cang Minh Vương, thì đây là những cái điều mà chúng ta hãy cố gắng quán chiếu và nhắc nhở thường trực. Giống như là vừa rồi là thầy có một cái chuyến là phải di chuyển rất là gấp, tại vì có tin là có một người mất và họ thỉnh thầy đến giống như là cầu nguyện, thì họ chạy rất là nhanh. Thì trong lúc mà họ chạy nhanh như vậy thì thầy không biết là sẽ có gì bất trắc hay không, thì thôi để đề phòng thầy ngồi thầy quán chiếu liên tục về tâm thân. Chứ còn nhưng mà không biết lý do gì đó mà thầy vẫn còn tiếp tục ở đây với chúng ta, chứ còn không thì thầy cũng sợ là thầy đi vào Bardo luôn rồi.
Yes, so now you see, after that, then as I said, appearance coming the Buddhas. Of course, you will have the 4th day is the Buddha Renasambhava. 5th day, you will have the Buddha Amitabha. And 4th day, and then the 5th day will be the Buddha Amoghasiddhi. But the first 3 days are very important. Then 4th, 5th, and 6th. 6th day will be the Amoghasiddhi, yes. So the 6th day Amoghasiddhi, because first day is the Buddha Samatapatra and Mahaheruka Chimcho. So that's why the 6th day will be the Buddha Amoghasiddhi. So 7th day is the most important day, the changing the appearance. So that's why normally the first 7 days we need to do very good practice. If somebody die, because that time they're really meeting the Buddha. Understand? So that's why it's very, very important. So counting the day, so the Tibetan tradition, how to count the day, the 6th day, 7 days after death is not the day of the moment, but tomorrow day after that. If I dying today, my day count to, not today. You know, so today will be the immediately death you have experienced, but you will not recognize. The day after you recognize the Buddha appearance, or you can have that kind of appearance. So that's why it's very, very important to understand the system of the 49 days goes on like that. So this is the part of teaching how to understand. Now you see the very important thing is as I'm saying, through this text, which I give to everybody shared, it's very good to read and to understand. So this one, so it tells what necessary things and how should we. But here saying that the calling to the Lama, the illusory, pure illusory body Lama will guide you. So this is the how to use just prayer to that guide me, that I cannot do my own alone. So that's why it is very, very important having this kind of prayers with the part of prayer. There's many part of prayers, but this one is one of the very good because it's the completion stage of the prayer. Now you see, so the Buddhas, how to meditate with that. So you will have the crown chakra is called the Buddha family. You might have the 25 Buddhas, Buddha family deities. They are wrathful and peaceful, so it's a mix. Okay, so and then you have the throat chakra. Is the throat chakra is the lotus family, the lotus family of the Buddha, and there is the 25 Buddhas. The 25 Buddhas are peaceful and wrathful. So one main center Buddha, it doesn't belong to the peaceful and wrathful, and then the 24 should be the peaceful and wrathful. So 12. So there are the 12 of them. 12 of them is very, very important. Understand? So you need to imagine this way. If you look in Thanga, if you look just in Thanga in bending, you will not get it. So how to practice now? The 100 deities with you, within your body. So you don't need to go to your joints and everywhere. The first mandala is the Buddha mandala. It's your crown chakra. There is the 25 Buddhas. So the 100 deities, they count only the union Buddhas. The union Buddhas, they count one. Understand? The union Buddhas don't count to the separate. Male Buddha, female Buddha is one Buddha. So that's why the 5 family Buddha we count not 10. Rather, the female belong to the elementary Buddha. So that's why. So you have the 25 in the crown chakra, which calls the Buddha mandala. Okay. Second, in your throat chakra, it's called the lotus mandala, lotus family mandala. We call this term not chakra, we call mandala. So that mandala has the 25 Buddhas. 25 Buddhas, male and female, count together. So peaceful and wrathful. Try to think about that. Try to visualize that, the Buddha family mandala. In your heart chakra here, you will have the Vajra family. The Vajra mandala, the Vajra family, man Buddha, either is the Vajra Heruka or Akshobhya. Same here is the Pema Heruka or Buddha Amitabha. Here is the Mahavairochana or the Buddha Heruka, right? So think about that. So each one has the 25 of them, Buddha. So you see 100 deities we call, actually it has more than 100 deities. If you count the female deities together, it's become more than 200 deities. So that's why Sheto, we call just 100, but it could be even more. And then your heart chakra, as I said, the Vajra mandala, Vajra family mandala, the family of the Vajra, 25 of them, peaceful, wrathful. So they can have different forms, different image, different colors. You don't need to think about everyone because you will not manage. So Dharmakirti said, intelligent way, the boss Buddha, the main Buddha. The main Buddha is you have the Akshobhya, it's okay. So Vajra Heruka, Akshobhya, you think. Pema Heruka, Amitabha, you think. Buddha Heruka, Amoghasiddhi, you think. All of them are surrounded the Buddha. Try to meditate sometimes. You cannot see that, but you just try to meditate. That's really helpful. You know, it will come, I'm very sure. So you can help also your friend, your parents, your family, whatever. When you have that good meditate, you really can interfere it. You really can transform them. They feel that something really changed. So this is the best thing you can do. This is the best thing you can help other. So your navel chakra, here is the Ratna family, Rana mandala. This term called mandala. Dungkang, Tibet called Dungkang. Dungkang means like the palace of the mandala. So the Buddha Rana Sambas mandala, there is 25 of them, peaceful and wrathful. And they're all, not all, the main Buddhas are union. The two of them Buddhas are union. So you see Rana Sambhava, and otherwise it has the Rana Heruka. So you have got the pictures, the 10 Buddhas. You don't need to go everyone detail. it makes you confused beginning. 10 Buddhas you need to learn very well. If it's possible, the last one I said now, the Samatapatra and Mahaheruka, you know, right? So this is very important. Now your sacred chakra, the best chakra is the karma family. It's called the karma mandala, right? So there is 25 deities. Mandala, nicely. So the wrathful and peaceful. The main Buddha is the Amoga Siddhi, and the wrathful main Buddha is the Karma Hiruka. Now today, don't take the Hayagirva, Aspema Hiruka, don't take the Vajakalaya, Karma Hiruka, not like that. There is other Buddha's picture you saw. So you don't check that. So 20 times 5 already is the 100 deities. So now again, the 5 times 5 you see, so you have more than 100 deities. So if you count the female Buddhas with that, you will have more than 200 deities. So that's why the mandala is huge. When you see the mandala, Tanga, it looks much more than that. There is like a fox and wolf's head and different, all of these are retinues. So we don't count the retinues. We only count the Buddha families. So that's why it is very important. Now remember that trying to meditate, Buddha mandala and Lotus mandala, Vajra mandala, Ratna mandala, Karma mandala. These are, you have to practice now. If you don't practice that, we cannot manage Bardo. The text here is saying that mostly how to recognize the term of the death, how to feel that I'm going through the dying process. But to recognizing the Buddha is actually in the Bardo Toto, but in Bardo Toto is too detailed. So sometimes even the practitioners do not get that because there is 5 of them, there's 5 of that, there's 5 of that, like this is too much. So now remember that just 25, 25, 25, 20 times 5 makes 100, right? And now you have 5 times 5 again, and then the female Buddhas. So it can be more than 200, right? So that's why please try to remember first these mandalas, 5 mandalas within your body.
那接下来我们就来看这个其他的。如果前3天过去了，那第4天，前3天是最主要的了。那这第4天就会出现的宝生佛，第5天出现阿弥陀佛，第6天出现不空成就佛。所以呢，我们在藏传佛教的传统呢，藏人的传统，这个前7天的修持是最重要。我们要有人往生之后呢，在前7天要好好的来修持，这些佛法，以及了知这些佛的这个万象的他们的名号咒语等等。所以第6天就是不空成就佛，所以第1天呢就是普贤王如来，第2天呢就是比如遮那佛，第3是不动佛，前3天就是代表的法身、报身跟化身，然后接下来就是宝生佛、阿弥陀佛、不空成就佛等等。我们在藏人的传统是怎么算49天的呢？第1天、第2天怎么算呢？并不是说死亡契助麦庭当天就算，而是隔天开始算。那我们认为是他知道，就是经验到了死亡，但是他意识里面还不知道说自己死了，到第2天才慢慢有这种认知。所以我们算49天是从第2天开始算的，所以对于这个中英的法教，我们有机会要好好的研读，因为这个是纯净的幻化身的这种引导，所以中英祈请文也好，它是从圆满次第的角度来讲的，是很重要的。那我们自己要如何观修呢？刚刚不是讲了，弥勒日巴的法教是我们要把握住要点，只供法称讲的要把握住要点，不是去观修是文武百尊太复杂了，你可以只 观修五方佛，就是极静尊，或者是五大赫鲁迦是愤怒尊等等。我们来讲到身坛城的话，身体如果是坛城的话，我们在顶轮这个地方就是佛部的坛城，也就是有Varachana， 就是比如遮那佛跟那个Mahaheruka 就是愤怒尊的形象，极静或愤怒尊的形象。那中间呢，就是比如遮那佛，那极静尊、愤怒尊各12个这样子。那在喉咙这边呢，是喉轮这边是莲花活部的坛城，也就是阿弥陀佛的坛城。那同样的是25个本尊，阿弥陀佛在中间，两旁有12个愤怒尊，12个极静尊。心轮这边是金刚部的坛城，金刚佛部的坛城，所以中间的主尊就是不动佛，或者是Vajraheruka 这样金刚佛族的赫鲁迦。那再来呢一样是25个。那在脐轮这边这个部位呢，就是宝生佛部的坛城。宝生坛城呢，一样是25个本尊那它是有一个愤怒尊，就是 Ratnaheruka， 就是宝生赫鲁迦一样的，除了这个之外呢，有12，就总共25。到了密轮这边就是不空成就佛的坛城呢，那同样的也是结魔部的这个坛城 Karma Family Karma 的这个坛城，结魔部的坛城也有25个本尊。所以你如果这样子算的话，事实上是超过100个的。如果我们自己加的话，补充一下，自己加25乘以5是125。然后如果一般我们佛父母是算一尊的，我们不是把它分开算。如果我们要分开算的话，要乘上2倍的，那超过的远远超过200。所以我们如果只是看唐卡的文武百尊的唐卡，可能不知道要怎么修，所以一个方便法门就是观自己自身为坛城，那佛父母是算一尊这样子。因为佛母是属于这个5大元素的化现等等，所以五方佛呢并不是有10尊，而是说5个，你是以佛父母这样算1个就可以了。那虽然我们一般讲文武百尊事实上是超过100的，如果把佛母也算进去呢是超过200的呀。这种如果说我们要记住这个 Shitro 文武百尊的极静尊跟愤怒尊的话，一般很难记，所以之前讲到子贡法称才讲说，我们要记住5个这个地方的主要的佛就可以，本尊佛就可以了。那也就是我们有提到的不动佛比如遮那佛、不动佛、阿弥陀佛、宝生佛、不空成就佛等等这样子。那因为每一个地方一个脉轮，这边我们不再叫它脉轮，在这个阶段我们是把它观成坛城，本尊的坛城或者是佛的坛城，不同的五方佛的不同的坛城。那它这个月亮宫，它主要就是它的东控，就是它的这个 palace， 就是它的宫殿。我们要好好的来学这个10个佛，也就是五方佛的极静尊的五方佛跟5个愤怒尊的赫鲁迦。那至于不管是马头明王、普巴金刚，那就再说。那所以这样子算起来的话，是总共是超过了100个。如果连佛母的算起是总共200个，所以整个坛城非常非常大。在这些呢还没有算上眷属，我们只算佛而已。所以你可以想象，如果要整个观想出来要多大，要观修要如何的复杂。所以子贡法称给我们的方便法门就是好的来观修这5个坛城，那如何在死亡的时候能够观修。如果我们跟着这个中英祈请文来观修，可能对很多人来讲是太复杂了，因为超过了200个这个本尊。所以我们要记得能够生坛城，也就是身体5部分的顶轮是佛部的坛城，喉轮这个部位是莲花坛城， 那在心轮这个部位是金刚坛城，金刚部的坛城。那在脐轮这个部分是宝生佛部的坛城，在密轮这个位置呢是不空成就佛或结魔部的坛城。用这样子的话就可以简化很多，所以你可以主要是观修5个极静尊的五方佛，或者是5个愤怒尊的赫鲁迦，这样就可以了。这样的话远比200多个本尊来讲简单很多。那我们等一下越南翻译。
Tại yết hầu của mình thì vị Phật chủ nếu như mà không phải là A Di Đà Như Lai thì ngài chính là Liên Hoa Minh Vương. Tại điểm bí mật của mình, tại đàn tràng ở nơi đây, mà nếu như không phải là bất không thành tựu Như Lai thì là Yết Ma Minh Vương. Chúng ta chỉ cần nhớ như vậy thôi, và nhắc lại cái con số 100 nó chỉ là tượng trưng thôi, chứ thực tế nếu như mà mình tính kỹ thì cái con số nó phải hơn 100 rất là nhiều. Cho nên là chúng ta thấy rằng nếu mà chúng ta chỉ có nhìn thang ca không á, thì thật sự là không có đủ chỗ để mà mô tả hết đâu. Và cho nên ở đây là chúng ta cố gắng chúng ta nhớ là gì? Trên cơ thể chúng ta tại 5 điểm đầu, cổ, tim, rốn và bí mật sẽ là 5 đàn tràng của ngũ giác tộc, tức là 5 giác tộc, và tại đó cái vị trung tâm sẽ là 5 vị Phật chủ hoặc là 5 vị Minh Vương. Thì đây là những cái kiến thức mà chúng ta cố gắng ghi nhớ. Và bản văn mà thầy đang bình giảng cho chúng ta có ghi rằng là chúng ta cần phải quán chiếu thường trực cho đến khi chúng ta thực sự không còn quên sót nữa, thì như vậy mới là gọi là có công phu tu tập. Còn nếu mà chúng ta lúc nhớ lúc quên, hoặc là thậm chí không bao giờ nhớ, thì lúc mà vào trung giới sẽ căng lắm nha.
So then now in the teaching say most important is, of course, we need to have the right from beginning said, always having the compassion, loving kindness, bodhicitta. These 3 aspects is the principle of the key point to manage your life this time and life after, and to also help the other beings. So you remember now the 5 mandalas with your chakra, and this is the very important. And through that we have the 5 family Buddhas mantra, directions, and mudra, and the syllables, and the 5 family Buddhas, the sign. Sign means, for example, the wheel is the sign of the Buddha Vairocana, right? The wheel of the golden wheel, whatever. For example, lotus is the sign of the Buddha Amitabha. So etc., etc. You know that, hopefully. And so this is the always need to remember. So the Buddha, the teaching here said you have to remind yourself everything is included within the 5 family Buddha, either wrathful or peaceful. So Heruka means the wrathful, right? So this is the very, very important to remember for that. Now you see our text. Last time we read the first part, and now go through. Of course, I will go read through afterwards. But it's important. It's the first part we read, page until the page 92. So the dissolution of the gross elementary. There is the gross element, and then there is the fine element. Then there is the very fine elementary dissolution, 3 different steps. This dissolution means not only just dying, that which to remind you, which that to show of the sign that we have to live. And you can see your friends, your parents, when they're getting old, and what they lose the first one, what they lose the second one, you can see that. So that's why it's very important. So there is the first, it's called the 20 gross dissolution, the elementary, or you can say just to, yes, elementary, the gross, 20 of them. And then you can have the 5 finer or subtle, means the element, the 4 element, or the 5 element. And then there is the very fine, which means the 3 appearance. Remember? So white, red, and black. So these are the all included. So we need to remember that in order to practice for the intermediate state. And if somebody is your friends and somebody, you can see that, and you can slowly to support which Buddha should be applied, which mantra should be applied, which meditation, which chakra should be the very important. So the 5 family Buddhas, as I said, hand attribute and the syllable of the mantra, and then the mantra, the main mantra, and also the 5 exercise, which include, yesterday we talked a little bit. So it is the from the Yangomba text and from the Nigu Yoga, Naro Yoga as well. So the Ringa Luchong is called the physical exercise of the Ringa, means 5 family Buddhas. So these are the how to practice, because you need to practice. You just having the notes, just pictures is not enough. The problem is you cannot manage that the time of the death, after the death. You cannot take your notes in the Bardo to read which guy coming. So that's why you have to put into the practical way. So this is very important. Okay. So now you see. So the first here saying I will read after that. So it's you can practice next time more. But anyway, first on the dissolution of the 20 gross sign. The sign of the dying means the sign of the dissolution. What we'll show first on is the form aggregate, the physical body, dissolving, that people slowly feel that you have less energy. Your body become bending. Somehow body start to bend, or body becomes smaller, or body become the less power. So many people feel this. There's pain of the knee, pain of the hips, and cannot walk, cannot stand up, cannot sit down very nicely. All these are the signs. It is not just one disease that you can cure. It cannot cure like easily because it is a sign. So this first dissolution is the physical, the rupa aggregate, rupa skanda, which means the skanda, and that means the form aggregate is the first. Second is the feeling. The feeling aggregate dissolve. You feel less. You are not so sensitive. You are now very sensitive, right? Everything that you feel very, very easy. But slowly, sometimes not happen. Some people even hurt, injured. Then they say, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't feel that. So it doesn't mean good. It means quite dangerous because anything can happen. So it means the feeling dissolving, the very fine, very sensitive, very elated feeling dissolve slowly, slowly. We can see some of our families and friends older, they don't feel. Sometimes you have to say you have injured, or you have hurt, but they said they didn't feel that. So the feeling, not only that, the feeling of the inside feeling, the feeling which caused the we call like a love and compassion, whatever. So they're longing, everything slowly, slowly, less. So some people say it's good. Well, I don't have feeling now. I am very, very good, but it can be not like that. If you are yogi, going beyond is good, but if you're not yogi, and that means the sign, second sign is the feeling, the aggregate of the feeling. This is you need to know that. Okay. Third distillation is called the aggregate, is the concept. The concept means so that you often forget. All people you can see also. Sometimes especially you do not remember name of the people. So I've seen that, I've met that, I need to see the face, we say often, but I forgot the name. Often forgetting the name of the people and animals, something. So that is the first sign of the dissolving your concept, conceptual level concept, understand? So these are the first 5 aggregates is very, very important. Then the third one, the fifth is the fourth, is that dissolving the, how to say, how to say, compositional, right? Compost, so they fabricate it. So if you dissolve that, means that the body here, so you cannot do things what you did before. Before you doing many things together, you can write email, you can call, you can do that, but now you cannot do that. You cannot do things which you before. Your parents, you can see, other people you can see, they want to do, they want to walk us young, they want to do everything, but you cannot do it. So it's the sign of the dissolution. So if you see this, all these 5 different things, then you see this is the dissolution of the 5 aggregates. Okay? So trying to remember that this teaching is interesting. This teaching is really telling reality. It's reality, you know. Put the glass now because something happened. I don't know. Maybe you think it's nice, but you know, slowly everybody need to do. I don't know nowadays to do the lesser operation, whatever. Things coming, skin change, whatever. Things coming. It's telling the directly reality what happened in lifetime. So that makes you make practice. So now you see each aggregate belong to each Buddha, remember? Right? For example, form is the Buddha Amoghasiddhi, also, etc. You can practice. You can remember Buddha really helped me. Now my dissolution start. So you have to say like this.
那我们在这个过程当中的很重要的是，根本就是要有慈心、悲心跟菩提心。这个有慈心、悲心跟菩提心的话，不但能够帮助我们能够掌控今生所行所做，并且可以帮助我们来世，甚至于帮助其他的众生，都是要以慈悲心跟菩提心为主，这3个为主的。所以呢，大家有机会的话，要好好的去想要修中阴的话，要好好的有机会去修持五方佛的这个咒语啊，并且了解它的外相啊、它的方向、它的手印、它的种子字跟它的征兆啊，也就是它的法器等等。所以呢，我们在这个是很重要的原因，这是一切的文武百尊这些种种的这些本尊的显现都含藏在这个五方佛身上，是极尽尊的五方佛，或者是愤怒尊的五大黑鲁加上。那上次呢，我们已经讲了中阴祈请文的前半段，那等一下会再讲后半段。那我现在要跟各位讲的一下这个死亡过程当中收摄或者是4大隐没、5根隐没的等这个过程。那从我们有从粗的消融到细的消融到极细的消融，那就是粗的有20个现象，细的就是5大的消融有5个。那再来呢，极细的就是3个阶段，就是显真德，或者一般人家讲的白变、红变、黑变这样子，白色、红色、黑色3个阶段，这些征兆，我们必须要了解。那我们必须要了解这个五方佛他们的种子字啊，他们的怎么样的修持啊，等等，不管是说Yankuba。或者是说尼姑玛有瑜伽也好，或者纳洛瑜伽也好，五方佛瑜伽也好呢，这个都是我们可以修持的。以后有机会可以跟大家讲。我们讲到的5大的隐没的话，首先是20个粗的现象来产生。那再来呢，5大隐没的第一个是色蕴的隐没。也就是我们的身体呢，慢慢的动作变得比较慢了，我们的能力、我们的力气精力就变得比较少了，身体就不会直了，就开始变得比较佝偻了，那背打不直了，那不管是站也好、坐也好，都撑不了多久。 那这个是一个衰老，我们五大在消融的过程当中，并不是生了什么病，也不是说你用什么方法可以医治的，因为这是一个自然衰老，这个自然消融的一个过程。所以这是这个第一个色蕴的消融会有这样的情况。第二个受蕴消融的时候，我们的感受就没有那么的敏锐，不是像现在一样到这个我知道那个我感觉这个我感到那一个，因为我们自己的感受就慢慢变得不是那么敏锐了，变慢慢消融了。那甚至我们的爱恨情仇啊，我们的慈爱心啊，我们的悲心啊，我们的渴望心的感受就没有那么强烈，就变得慢慢越来越少。那一般人讲说很好，我现在都没有不忧不喜不惧了。那如果说你今天是一个修行的瑜伽士，当然是很好。如果是凡夫的话，这可能就是一个隐没这个消融在这个衰老过程当中必经过的这个过程。所以这个是受蕴的隐没的时候，这个收摄的时候慢慢会出现这些状况。那再来就是想蕴，想蕴呢就是会变得比较的善忘，那这个记忆力比较不好的一个人，明明你常常见到他，可是你不记得他的名字了，那事情你也不记得了。那我们就知道这个五蕴在慢慢在消融的。那我想我们各位在这个看到生活上的种种的一些周围的人啊，自己也好了，会看到不同的征兆，我们皮肤的改变呢，我们颜色的改变，头发改变等等，我们就知道我们现在是在老化的过程当中，要在开始在慢慢在收摄了。所以这个我们要好好的修持。如果讲到色蕴的话，我们就要好好的来观修不空成就佛。那我们这边来因为越南翻译还在讲，我们补充一下临终隐没呢是有这个五根隐没，那就是眼耳鼻舌身等等，然后再来四大隐没就是地水火风，等一下主本会讲的这个三个阶段是明增德也好，显增德也好，那也就是三个层次来讲呢，从粗到细到极细有这样子的隐没。那讲到五方佛的话，一般来讲我们是中间是比如遮那佛，那东方是不动佛，南方是宝生佛，西方是阿弥陀佛，北方是不空成就佛。那刚刚讲到征兆或者是法器来讲，一般比如遮那佛或者没有拿法器，或者是以法轮做代表，不动佛是金刚杵，宝生佛是宝珠，阿弥陀佛是莲花，不空成就佛是十字金刚杵。那颜色来讲，比如遮那佛是白色，不动佛是深蓝色，宝生佛是黄色，弥陀佛是红色，不空成就佛是绿色。那么他们也代表的不同的五大元素，相对的，比如遮那佛一般对应的是空大，那不动佛是水大，宝生佛地大，阿弥陀佛火大，不空成就佛风大。那对于五字来讲呢，比如遮那佛相对应一般来讲是法界体性智，不动佛对应的是大圆净智，宝生佛对应的是平等性智，阿弥陀佛对应的是妙观察智，不空成就佛对应的是成所作智。那这些等一下在主本会再慢慢的来解释，我们等一下越南翻译。
Chúng ta chuyển cái tâm mình, chúng ta hướng về ngũ trí Như Lai, ngũ trí Minh Vương vân vân, nghĩa là chúng ta có kiến thức và chúng ta có cái sự ứng dụng.
So that is the last time we didn't draw the detail from here. I already read the root text, So the root text is inside here, which I told what I'm talking to you now. We have read it last time. not the details. And then second thing, we have talked a little bit, the elementary, the 5, or you can say the 4 element is dissolving. So the first, it should be the, as we taught last time, earth element. And this time here saying, when the earth element dissolves, your body become very unstable. You cannot do the yoga good. You cannot stand up long. Your body always shakes. And also the body become the how to call brightness, losing your skin become quite strange. Its shape means kind of dry, always kind of like dry. There's the shining bright is not there. And this is the sign of the dissolving the earth element innerly. So if you see that you're somebody like that, you need to remember that now it began to dissolve the earth element. It happens with us, not matter whatever we do. And then slowly, as I said, the water element dissolving. So you will feel there is a dry, yes, that you feel always dry. You even feel that your tongues are dry. You even feel always there's no sweating. Even you do the sport, you even go to the sauna, it's always difficult to sweat, to coming the water from body, which is the sign of that water element is slowly reducing and dissolving. So we have to think how to practice with the 5 dakinis. So you have to apply the 5 dakinis here. You remember 5 family, 5 Buddhas with the 5 aggregate, now 5 element with the 5 dakinis. So dakinis have also mantra. Dakinis also have the form, especially the dakini, the 5 element balance exercise, what we learned through Zalung, that would be very good for if you can do. You can do for somebody, for your parents and your older friends. If somebody cannot do, you can do for them to imagine with the Dakinis energy, Dakinis blessing. So this is the how to help with other people. So Tibetan yoga teaching that we do lots of that for other people, understand? So often people feel dry. As I said, you cannot sweat, and you will always missing something with that water. So even you have always water, it's not thirsty, but just something missing that with the water. So that is the very important to feel that. Then after that, the fire element dissolving. The fire element dissolving here this time, you not become cold, but you cannot digest the food which you digest before. Food which you can eat before without problem, now you cannot. So you can think about what kind of disease. We go to the doctor, we go to the different medicine therapies, but there is elementary problem. So the fire element is dissolving. So inner fire element dissolving. So you need to have to do actually the exercise and mantras, meditations with according to the lotus dakini, right? So that's why it's very, very important to know that, to notice that. And you can do for somebody else, understand? This is what he is saying. And then after that, the wind element dissolves. The wind element is the breathing. So when that dissolves wind, that 5 root wind, each one dissolve. So that means you cannot even control the sometimes urine, excremation, all these kind of things. Especially those practice of the bindu trainings, they cannot hold the bindu very, very fast coming the night in the dream, whatever. All this is wind element, very weak. That makes your energy very weak because your energy has the bindu. Training is the most important for to have the energy, to have the power, to be aware, to be shining bright. All this comes from this tumo energy. Tumo is about the bindu, right? Red bindu, white bindu. So that 5 wind element dissolving, so you will lose that. So if you are ready to do not have that, so cannot practice with the video training because it's very easy to lose, and that's why the 5-root wind is very, very important. So you see now we have the earth element, fire element, and water element, fire element, wind element. The space element here is belong to the all element together. So it began to dissolve with together, so there's no extra explained. So that's why it's called 4 elementary.
那我们接下来就是要讲五大隐没。那在根本序里面有提到五大隐没，或者是我们讲四大隐没。就是地大隐没的时候呢，的身体就开始稳了啊，不能做瑜伽这样的运动啊，身体常常会摇摇晃晃啊，那不能的站久或坐久，皮肤就变得很干燥，不再有光芒。那我们看看我们自己的话，也就是这样子。那再来呢，就是这个是地大隐没，那水大隐没呢，就这个时候就是会感到口渴，舌头是很口渴。那即使你去做三温暖的话，你身体也不太会流汗的，你的水进不到你的身体里面。那在这个时候我们要修的就是空行母，如果需要这个加持的话，就要修空行母了。因为五佛相对的是五蕴，那五大相对的是空行，佛父跟空行这样子。那我们在跟我们修脉气明点有很大的关联的。那如果你知道如何修的话，你不但可以自己帮助自己，也可以帮助父母啊，然后观想空行母给他们的这个加持啦，也可以从在藏传佛教的方法，就是可以为他人来修瑜伽这样子。那再来就是地大消融，水大消融之后，再来就是火大的消融。这个时候可能会感觉冷了，身体就会感到很冷，也不带有暖气，那也或者是不能够消化所以呢，这个时候就是火大消融的状态。再来就是风大消融，就是气呢就是这个的隐没。所以这个时候呢，外象是什么？就是5个粗的气，不管我们讲上行气、下行气这种气呢，就我们不再能够控制我们自己身体的气了，大小便不再能够控制，甚至明点也会流出去，流经之类的，有些人是会遗精这样子。那我们知道我们的那个明点呢，跟我们的或者心地跟我们的能力是这个生命力的精力是有很大的关联的，所以可以让我们皮肤有光泽啊，会有光芒这样等等的。但是如果说我们在死亡的过程当中，就慢慢的一个一个隐没的话，我们就不再能够修这个脉气明点的明点了。所以我们有这个能够平常修5根本气，这个也是很重要的。再来呢，在4大，就最后就是空大。那空大包含了前面的地、水、火、风，那4个都有这个4大。所以我们有的时候会讲是5大，有的时候是讲4大隐没，5大隐没或4大隐没。那我們等一下越南翻譯。
Thì lúc này á, người trải qua hiện tượng này sẽ không còn chủ động trong các bài tập thở nữa. Và hơi thở của họ cũng không còn có thể nào mà chủ động để mà điều khiển được, và cũng không còn dễ dàng mà giữ được các cái tinh điểm, do là năng lượng của phong đại đã bị tiêu giảm. Chẳng hạn như là có một số những cái bài tập mà nó sẽ yêu cầu hành giả cần phải tương tác với lại tinh điểm, thì muốn tương tác được với lại tinh điểm thì cần phải nương tựa vào cái năng lượng của phong đại, tức là năng lượng của nguyên tố gió. Chẳng hạn như là bài tập về tummo đi, các cái bài tập tummo thực ra nó có liên hệ đến tinh điểm rất là nhiều, nhưng mà lúc bấy giờ thì các bài tập tummo này cũng không còn dễ dàng nữa, bởi vì giống như chúng ta đã nói là để có thể tương tác được với lại các tinh điểm thì chúng ta cần phải đương vào trong cái năng lực của phong đại. tức là nguyên tố gió, và bây giờ nguyên tố gió nó đang tan hòa rồi, nghĩa là nó sẽ không cung cấp năng lượng để chúng ta có thể giữ được các cái tinh điểm đó nữa, thì cái bài tập này sẽ không còn dễ dàng với chúng ta. Như vậy ở đây thầy nhắc lại cho chúng ta là cái sự tan hòa của 4 đại gồm có địa đại là nguyên tố đất, thủy đại là nguyên tố nước, hỏa đại là nguyên tố lửa và phong đại là nguyên tố gió. Và thực ra thì chúng ta còn có một nguyên tố nữa, còn có một đại nữa, nó chính là không đại hay là gọi là không gian. Nhưng mà thông thường
这边再补充一下，四大隐没、地大隐没的时候，有的时候我们的感觉是好像堕到一个坑，山压会很沉重。
Okay, so this is the just to notice that very important, because this we are already experiencing. So the teaching of the Bardo, if you notice that and you can do something, you can prepare something, especially the 5 family Buddhas, peaceful, wrathful, 5 deities, peaceful and wrathful, the 5 mandalas I explain you. Now we can practice with that, so you will manage that very, very easily. So it's become very helpful in our this life. Means you will have the actually that I become not very clear to see. First thing. Second thing is that you often have strange imagination. Many people have that. Many people see something that we don't see. And many people have very disturbing some kind of like light, some kind of like that colors, some kind of this kind of things. Sometimes you're very annoying. What happened? So all these things are dissolution of the eye organ. So the 5 eye sense, the 5 sense, understand? And the second thing is your ear dissolving term here. So even people tell nice, but you don't hear that not nice. You always think she will say something bad for me. When even the music and sound which you liked before, now you don't want to hear anymore. Kind of that hate coming, all these kind of things. Something that you do not like it. So that is that cause the dissolving the sense from the ear. And you see many people do that. Many people say, don't talk to me. Many people say, I don't want to hear your voice. Understand? Some older people used to say that, because that is the sense from the hearing is disturbed. It's not like before. So we can think about, okay, you don't need to be angry with that. You don't need to be like, how to say, annoying for that. You have to be compassion, love, and to do some practice. There is some practice, right? So we know that 5 sense also belong to the with the practice of the Buddhas and deities. And we have the opening eye, some different exercise. You should really think about how to do that. So I think it's very, very important. And this is also the third one is from the nose, smell. But this time it's not just smell. You cannot breathe nicely. Somehow they're so uncomfortable to breathe from the nose. Sometimes even cannot coming the breathe from here. So it's like the upper part wind is not really smooth. And because of that, so you do not do not feel the smell which you like before. Now you say, I don't like that. And I don't smell it, sometimes say. So all these kind of things is sign of the dissolving the sense of the smell from the nose. And understand? And then we Tibetan in the Vajrayana, it's called tongue, is the one of the sense. Not only just chest, but the tongue itself. Now we are talking not sense object. We are talking only the sense organ. So the sense organ, so here, so first the tongue, sometimes here say you feel that your tongue is very thick, kind of like swallow, even it's not. Sometimes you cannot talk nice, the words not coming. Understand? The words not coming, even come sometimes. So yes, it's something 2-3 times coming together. Not before. If this was caused by dizzy, is different, but it suddenly come. It means that the sense of the organ of the tongue is the dissolving. So dissolve is very important, you know. Now you notice that. So need to do the mantra, for example, right? Sanskrit mantra. You really, there's everyone has healing, not healing, that kind of protection. So we need to learn that and practice that. So that's why the Bardo teaching Tibet Buddhist is really wonderful. It is really helpful for in this lifetime, not only the life after. That's the really to protect you. It's very good for your health and so on. So that's why. So this is very important to having all this is that it's called the 5 sense. You know, not sense object, but the 5 sense organs to dissolving.
Các cái kiến thức này chúng ta cần nhớ, bởi vì khi mà chúng ta nhớ
那
được
接下来就是我们的眼耳鼻舌身，那这个5根的消融。当我们眼视消融的时候，我们就看不太清楚。我们看一些平常看得到的东西呢，甚至在看得不清楚，那或者也是只能看到一些光啊，或者颜色的东西，或者看到我们平常人看不到的这个东西了。这个时候呢，这个是眼视的消融。那耳根的消融呢，就是听不到，或者是说看到别人在讲话，自己听不到，以为别人在骂我们。那我们平常喜欢听的音乐，现在也听不到了所以就是我甚至会心里面起很多烦恼，说不要跟我讲话，我听不到你在讲什么，我也不知道你的意思。这是耳根消融的征兆。再来是鼻根，就是这个时候呢，我们呼吸就很不顺，我们的上行气就不顺了，那闻不到味道的，那我们或者是说升起的一些不愉悦、不快、不高兴的这种感觉了。再接下来是舌根不只是味道而已，在这个时候我们就没有什么味道了。我们嘴巴这个舌头可能要变得很厚大，然后讲话不能讲得很快，就不会讲得很慢。那要讲什么字呢，就讲不出来，有可能变成口疾。所以这个呢，就是这是刚刚讲的4大，现在讲5根的消融的一些状况。所以在一个临终的人会有这样的情况，所以我们要去想办法，要去理解他们，而不是说你在干什么，你在讲什么这样子。知道这个就是在这个过程当中会有的一些外在的一些征兆。那如果说需要刚刚传的5方佛跟5个赫鲁家的照片给各位，那所以如果大家等一下可以下载，或者是在 YouTube 上的人可以事后再来要。有种子字，那白色的就是比如遮那佛，那蓝色的就是不动佛，黄色的是宝生佛，红色的是阿弥陀佛，绿色的是不空成就佛。那在这个佛像上面也有这个他们的咒语 Om Barachana Om， 这个是比如遮那佛就是 Om Amoghasiddhi 这是不空成就佛。Hon 是 Om Akshobhya Hon， 这个是不动佛。那阿弥陀佛和 Om Amitabha Shri 就是4字，是它的种子字。 那再来就是宝生佛是 Om Rana Sambhava Tram， 这是它的种子字 Tram， 所以五方佛有各个不同的种子字。比如遮那佛是 Om， 那不空成就佛是 R， 不动佛是 Hong， 阿弥陀佛是 Shri， 不空成就宝生佛是 Tram， 就5个种子字。那么也分享了五方佛父佛母的法照给各位。那在 YouTube 上的有需要再写到法宝典藏 DTP2024@yahoo.com， 我们等一下越南翻译。
Ở đây và tiếp theo sau đó sẽ là lưỡi. Lưỡi của chúng ta thì thực ra cái lưỡi của chúng ta nó cho chúng ta rất là nhiều những cái thông tin về chúng ta đó. Chẳng hạn như là trong y học của Tây Tạng đó, thì một trong những cái điểm mà phải khám đầu tiên đó là cái lưỡi chẳng hạn. Lưỡi rất là quan trọng. Thì lúc này khi mà chúng ta cái lưỡi của chúng ta bắt đầu tan hòa rồi thì chúng ta sẽ gặp những vấn đề về lưỡi, chẳng hạn như là chúng ta gặp vấn đề trong việc nói chuyện, nghĩa là chúng ta kiểu như có nhiều cái mình nghĩ mình không nói được, hoặc là mình sẽ xuất hiện cái hiện tượng gọi là nói lắp hoặc là loạn ngôn vân vân. Thì lúc này á, thì đối với là một hành giả thì kiểu như là họ hiểu được cái hiện tượng này, họ sẽ không muốn nói chuyện nữa, mà thay vào đó họ sẽ tập trung vào trong cái công phu trì chú của mình, chẳng hạn như là họ trì các câu chú của nguyên phụ âm. Cho nên ở đây tự nhiên chúng ta sẽ thấy được cái chỗ mà gọi là diệu dụng của chân ngôn trong Phật giáo Tạng truyền. Nghĩa là khi mà chúng ta tu trì và chúng ta ngồi chúng ta trì chú như vậy, chúng ta định tâm chúng ta trì chú, thì nó không chỉ giúp ích cho đời này khi mà chúng ta đang sống, mà nó còn giúp ích cho cả chúng ta khi mà chúng ta đối diện với cái chết.
Okay, so this is the 5 sense organs. The 5 sense object to dissolve is the first is the form. The form dissolving, you do not feel yourself not anymore beautiful, really. And you don't see the outside beauty. You don't see the beauty of the eyes to what you see the object. So many people say it is terrible, it is ugly, it is not nice, the life is miserable, all these things coming because the beauty is lost. So the beauty, not just your physical body, just everything with beauty, especially the beauty of yourself is lost. So they feel very kind of like sad and not nice. Everything is not really beauty. So this is the first one called the dissolving the object, the sense object of the form. Second thing is the sense object from the ear to sound, that you do not hear what you even say. You do not hear your sound from your body. You do not hear the sound from yourself, what your sound, your voice, whatever. So that is now very near. Now we are already going to the bed somehow. So you need to know that. Notice that it's quite important to know from the Bardo teaching. So you have to know that I'm going through here. Yeah, I just telling them from the text, from this text, Sam. And so that's why it's called that. Then second thing is the losing the nose sense object of the smell. So many people do not smell themselves. So that's why they lose everything. Don't take the shower because they don't feel the smell themselves. They don't smell it, and they don't smell also outside other things. So that's why it's now almost dissolved outer the 5 sense object. It's very often that happens. So if you see that your friends, your parents, older people, the ill people, we should think considering that Buddha already taught. That is the teaching of the Bardo. That's the teaching of the process of the dying. Now we should really prepare, and to help them or yourself is the need to know, okay, so this we know already, right? So that would be very good. The last one is the true sense object of the test. So there's 6 different tests, or 3 of them, sweet, bitter and salt, but you cannot differentiate. Your tongue doesn't differentiate the taste, and that caused the dissolving the sense object of the taste. So these are the outer, very important. Then we go through the wisdoms to dissolve with the 5 wisdoms. So it's become with the mind. So now most people getting, the Alzheimer, so they forget everything, dementia, they forget everything, all these kind of things is the start to dissolve the 5 wisdoms, natural 5 wisdoms to going back to the Dharma, wisdom of the Dharma Dhatu, or wisdom of the fundamental wisdom. So that's why they forget and they don't remember all these kind of things coming.
那我们刚刚讲到就是5根的隐没，那竹本又再讲了一次这个色蕴，在第一个阶段色蕴在隐没的时候，我们的外相就不再美丽，没有这种光华，不但是我们自己身体改变，我们甚至往外看，我们外面的世界也是一样的，就觉得很可怕，好丑啊，就是非常的悲惨的一个世界，因为一切的美好的东西都消失了。那跟自己的颜色有关外相的部分呢，都消失，慢慢在隐没了。那我们知道这个就是眼根隐没的征兆，耳根的隐没就是听不到自己的声音，甚至自己内在身体的声音，以前听得到，现在都听不到了。这是耳根隐没。鼻根隐没的就是我们闻不到味道。那有的时候我们就觉得没有什么臭味，我也就不去洗澡。那因为我没有闻到，不觉得臭，也不去洗澡了。所以如果说自己的年纪大的这位年纪大的朋友，或者是老人家，或者是父母的有这种状态，我们就知道说他已经在慢慢在衰老，在5大消融的这些征兆快要进到这个中阴的这个现象快要显现了。那至于舌头方面呢，就是味道不能尝，不能分辨出这个食物好这个的味道出来了。那所以呢，在这个跟着5大的消融跟5根的5识5根的消融呢，同时5智也会消融了，5种智慧消融。所以我们看到老人家他的记忆力就不好了，甚至有阿兹海默症、失智症。这个就是因为法界体性智的消融，所以有这样子的一种情况产生。刚刚这边要更正一下，这个5方佛母呢，一般来讲呢，比如遮那佛的佛母是虚空法界自在母，那不动佛的佛母是佛眼佛母，宝生佛的佛母才是妈妈基佛母。刚刚好像主本有讲的讲法不太一样。那么阿弥陀佛的佛母是白衣佛母，那不空成就佛的是具世佛母。
This is when we are ill and getting old, and we all have this experience. So this need to know through the Bardo teachings and Bardo practice. So if you notice that, you can also help other people very, very easy way, because you know that it's happening. It is not because they are doing purpose, because you know it's just the desolation comes through it. So it's very important. So now you see very important is there's 5 wisdoms, which is the link to the 5 mental poisons. So first one is called the wisdom like marrow like wisdom, wisdom like marrow, which is dissolving this time. So you become mind is kind of like a dull mind. So you everything is mixed. You do not remember the person, people, everything is kind of that going through like a movie. So that become really annoying, but many people have that problem. So you need to think. Some people become, it's not clear. Everything's unclear, but you still see them. So you still somehow know that, but very unclear. So many of them, people happen that. So this is very near to the disease which called Alzheimer or like dementia. So it's coming not only just a brain, it's has to do with your mind, your consciousness. So that's why you need to help. You need to know that how to do with the help and how to do the what kind of practice apply that. It should be very important, right? We know the Buddhas now. So which Buddha belong to that wisdom. So for example, right? Second one is the wisdom of the equanimity. When this dissolve, then you do not feel the feeling pleasure, unpleasure, and neutral, these three feelings. You cannot differentiate. It was good or not. For example, your clothes, soft or not soft, or the three feelings you lose, you cannot differentiate. It's good or not, pleasant, unpleasant. Cannot differentiate because it's everything kind of like equal, but it doesn't mean not very, it doesn't mean the nice. It is solving your elementary, the wisdom of the equanimity. Then the wisdom, which is the discriminating. So the discriminating, the wisdom dissolve. That time, many people say, even their children, who are you? What is your name? Understand? So the third wisdom is dissolving. But the practitioner knows that. The practitioner knows that. That's very important. Buddha, for example, Renasambhava, right? You guys know that now. So that's why it's very, very important. Buddha Amitabha, right? You need to know that, how it's dissolving, how it's going on. So that's why it's very important. The last one is called the wisdom of the accomplishment. When that dissolve that, so you do not even remember your home, your clothes, and your family, and it's kind of that losing everything. So it's become full kind of like this dementia, this kind of like a, how to call Alzheimer right nowadays. So anyway, this coming that, so we need to do the practice in not get this problem. So that's why Buddha Amoghasiddhi, for example. So this is the how to dissolve all the elements. And after that, we will go just short through, and then the book is almost finished.
那接下来主本讲的就是这个过程的，这是收摄、消融、隐没的过程，就是老化的现象。如果我们知道现在正在经历这一些，就有方法可以帮助别人，因为我们知道他正在收摄、在消融的过程，在隐没的过程。那接下来要讲的就是五智，那的五毒烦恼是有关联性的了。我们从大圆净智来讲。就是我们当大圆净智在隐没的时候，我们就会变得很昏暗，然后觉得什么事情都混在一起的，我们记忆力也下降了，这是一个非常恼人的一个过程，我们头脑不再清明。那许多人也有这样子的一个现象，那包括了失忆、失智、阿兹海默症等等呢，我们知道这个时候应该如何修。那这边补充一下，大圆净智对应的就是不动佛。再来就是平等性智，那补充一下，这是对应的是宝生佛。那这样子的平等性智在隐没的过程当中呢，我们不再有这种分别的这种感知了，不管是说它好还是不好，或者是中性啊，它是柔软啊，是坚硬，或者是不软不硬啊，好坏的这个分别心就消融了。或许有人觉得你不再有这种分别心，这是很好，其实这是就是不见得是很好的，因为在这个时候是在我们的五智消融的过程当中出现的征兆。那在第三个就是妙观察智的隐没，在这个阶段到了这个阶段就认不出自己的小孩了。那第四个阶段就是成所作之隐没的时候，就这个阶段已经不记得自己的家了、衣服了，家人都不认得了。所以这个就变成已经是算是也跟我们的失智啊、失忆或者是阿兹海默症啊都有关联。所以这边补充一下，这个大圆净智相对应的是不动佛，平等性智相对应的是宝生佛，妙观察智相对应的是阿弥陀佛。那成所作智相对应的是不空成就佛。那刚刚主本讲的，如果你知道怎么样的 状况的话，你可以修，知道怎么样修。那他就告诉我们这个五方佛跟五字之间的关系。那我们再等一下越南翻译。
Gọi là không còn nhớ cái gì, nó giống như là một người, đây là một cái triệu chứng rất là điển hình của một người bị bệnh Alzheimer. Thì đây là những cái kiến thức mà chúng ta cần phải ghi nhớ.
Okay, so until there is the what we can do ourselves and people can do. Now the last one is called the subtle dissolution. So that means already on the bed. So already with the it's called the near to the death. The dissolution of the near to the death, understand? So that is the subtle element, the first element, which is called the earth element dissolve, that you feel that you are falling down to the under the ground. People often say that, I feel that, first of all. Secondly, from the physically, they cannot even lift the one hand, cannot move the feet and legs, and cannot do nothing. So it's down almost, the earth element is almost gone. That time, normally, so there is the appearance inside, the eyes become very foggy, kind of like smoke, kind of like foggy, that can see. So people used to say that I see is so foggy, so like a smoky, that kind of appearance. This is a sign, is the near to the death dissolution of the earth element.
那
kế đến là cấp
主
độ
本讲说他已经快要讲完了，那现在在这讲说，如果知道这些征兆的话，我们就可以知道自己要怎么修，那怎么样来帮助人。接下来要讲到更维系的隐没了，这是这已经到了这个中阴，临终中阴了，所以在地大的时候呢，地大隐没的时候，我们就会有一种堕落的感觉，好像身体掉下去了，那没有力气，手跟脚都抬不起来了，这个就是地大在隐没了。那在内在的话，我们有眼睛可能看出去一片雾茫茫的，看不清楚，或者是有烟雾一般的，这就是因为地大隐没。
That was the earth element dissolved to the water element. Now water element dissolved to and the fire element. This time you don't feel the dry, but you lose the water from for example, urine you cannot hold, supply from the water from mouth you cannot hold, tears from the eye you cannot hold, everything is coming. That I have seen many people at the dying time, very difficult. It's not crying, it's just you have no control, understand? So it's losing that. So that happens, and especially they feel very cold. Whatever you do, they feel so cold. It's like there is nothing special to do. You put the blanket or whatever, it doesn't help. So they feel very cold. If they still can talk, they will say, "Oh, so cold." But most of the time now cannot talk. This time, all dissolved. So you need to, that this is the last, the water element is dissolving into the fire element. So there will have some kind of sign from the eye. So it's kind of that something like very moving, like water, like ocean. Like kind of like fundamental. So that is something like moving. So this is very, very unclear. I don't know how to call it English, but if you have the very open space, and on the sun shines, you see the water, but there's no water. You can't do the water you see. Understand? In Tibet is called Mikyu. So this kind of some animals even around that your eyes see like this kind of things, this inner sign. But if you are land now, so you can notice that. Why I'm telling you now, what is helpful for you, if you know this now, and then you already think, oh yes, now I know. Each by you will notice that, you will be aware, you will be manage it. So this is why we're talking now. Otherwise, I should not tell all these things. So you become maybe afraid. But this is the help. So this outer sign, inner sign, the earth, the water element dissolved into the fire element.
我们刚刚讲的是从地大烧摄到水大的时候，我们就身体就有多的感觉。那从水大第二阶段，就是水大修摄到火大的时候，我们会觉得这个对水的这方面的控制就失去了。水就是嘴巴会流出口水，眼睛会流下眼泪。当眼睛流下泪水的时候，这并不是他们在哭，而是身体没有办法去控制他们了。如果这个时候同时伴随的可能一种很冷的感觉，你即使给他被子给他毯子，他也不会觉得够暖这样子，只是身体在发冷了。这个很多时候是没有办法讲话，但是这个阶段呢，有些人还是可以讲话，只是他会觉得很冷。那有的时候好像在水里面一样，那在水的这个波动，那看不清楚，也可能是像我们讲的水汽那个音，或者是说养眼这样子的migu， 这上文叫 migu。那如果说我讲这些，并不是让你们害怕。就其实不应该讲，我讲这个不是让你们害怕，而是让你们知道说，如果你们看到这些征兆的话，你自己就知道说，哦，已经到了这个过程了，我可以做什么样的事情来帮自己帮别人这样子。好，我们等一下，越南翻译。
Linh đinh cảm giác bồng bềnh đó thì đó chính là cái dấu hiệu của cái người mà đang trải qua cái giai đoạn này. Thì những cái kiến thức này á, nếu mà bây giờ mà chúng ta chú ý, chúng ta lắng nghe đó, thì khi mà những cái hiện tượng này xuất hiện, chúng ta sẽ biết, chúng ta sẽ phân định rất rõ là đây chính là cái hiện tượng mà ngày xưa mình học là thủy đại, toàn hòa và hỏa đại đây. Chứ còn bây giờ mà chúng ta cứ lo ra, chúng ta không có chịu thu nạp kiến thức á, thì đến khi mà cái hiện tượng này nó xuất hiện, chúng ta sẽ bỡ ngỡ ngay lập tức, chúng ta không biết gì cả, rất là tiếc.
So this term is very important. Somebody sit next to, hold the hand, help to do. That's very, very helpful. They really feel very much close to. They really feel it helps, understand? So that's why the helping for the dying people is very, very important. But if you are already learned that, if you tell that, now I see you have this element dissolving, they will remember. When they remember, they are not afraid. When they remember, they are not suffer that. So they will recognize. You can tell now the subtle wisdom, subtle Buddhas coming. This is now I'm talking the subtle elementary dissolving, right? So now fire element dissolve into the wind element. So they feel at heart center something very warm, kind of even too much hot. They feel it's really heat coming here, but outside other body is cold, but in heart center, very much heat. They feel like that. So this is the experience yogi. You know why we say that? We don't know if we have not remembered that, but here in the yogi experience say that they really feel much heat, and that moment the inner appearance comes like these fireflies. You know firefly? So fireflies, they're kind of like fires, they're kind of the coming sparks. And this is the moment now you will lose the all elementary, and then suddenly the wind element will dissolve into the consciousness called. Then they will make so very long exhale, inhale. Everybody actually, and then it will stop. It will die actually. But the problem is that wind element, this moment, cannot stop one moment. So then that moment we suffer lots. But this is outer, you can see. Inner actually might become more stable. It's kind of just like kind of the bottle lamp without having the wind. You see something very clear, even very difficult to exhale, inhale. But from inner mind, you see something very transparent, clear. That is our which calls the subtle consciousness. So without having all the other consciousness dissolved. So this is the how to we can do how to die process.
Thì lúc này nếu như mà người đó có một người
那至于火大到风大的时候，你会发觉自己身体的外面都很冷，但是心里面就是在心的地方还是很大很热的呀。 那这个时候刚刚在讲到说水大火大的时候，身体开始变化很冷的时候，如果说我们家人和亲近的人来在跟他在身边陪伴他，甚至握着他的手，对这个即将临终的人会有很大的帮助。那事实上我们在安宁的服务的时候，这个过程也是很有帮助的，因为他觉得你是他很亲近的人，他有所依靠，不会害怕，我们可以握着他们的手，因为并且在提醒他们，这个记得吗？我跟你们讲过，这个就是5大元素慢慢在消融的。那如果他们知道的这个能够认出这个记得这个过程，认出来这个过程，而且有你陪伴，他们就不会害怕，因为他们知道说这个是死亡的这个过程，我现在到了什么阶段了。然后当火大融入风大的时候，有一种现象就是外面可能是很冷，但是身体外面很冷，但是你们内心里面还是热的。过去有很多有经验的瑜伽士曾有这样子讲说，我的心里面非常的热。那当我们还没有到那个阶段，修行还没到那节课，或许不太了解他们所讲，但是他们很多瑜伽士有这样的讲法。那在内在的经验是什么呢？我们好像看到火花，看到这个火光火花的这个出现。最后呢，风大消融就消融到意识里面，在这个阶段可能就是长长的吐出一口气。
But if you have, then all these things, if you see that, then you can make poa. Before, you're not allowed to make poa with the pet. Then you can ask Lama, you can call the Rinpoche, or if you are a practitioner, you can do the poa. But if yourself, you're a good practitioner, if you feel all these things, then you even can do the self-poa. So then your consciousness ready to live. You have no problem that you killed somebody. Before that, if you do that, it's not good because it's like killing. So yourself also not good, it's like suicide. So if you do the other people, it's also like killing to take off the life. So that's why until there it should be very important. Then after that is the 43 very subtle dissolution, you know that, right? So it's called, the first one is the consciousness dissolve into the appearance. That means the old appearance, whatever we had, it's gone, everything gone. So consciousness itself have nothing to do with the outer external things. So it really sleep deep to in the central channel. That time, actually, we have the inner experience. The hang, bindu hang, is falling down. It's not melting. Melting would be very good. That's what we have to now do the Tumo bindu training. If you can melt, but just fall down. And that time, so you have the appearance like really full moon, very white, very, very white, very bright color. But it doesn't mean that it got enlightenment. Understand? So this time there is all the hatred. So there is the kind of like we call the 33 mental faculties, which belong to the aggressive hate. Everything will be slowly dissolved. And then if you are a good practitioner, you will realize the nature of the hatred emptiness.
Khi mà các hiện tượng này xuất hiện, nhắc lại nha, khi
但是这个气住脉停，它不见得是一刹那的事情，可能要一阵子，所以这个时候可能是很痛苦，对亡者来讲是很痛苦的事。可是在这个时候呢，他们亡者的内心是很稳固的。那我就好像一个酥油灯一样，我们心事变得很清明，有很维系的心意识，就能够出现了，其他的这种分别心，让分别意识就停了。如果我们看到这个征兆，我们就可以修破瓦法，因为知道他已经死亡了。在这个之前呢，气住脉停之前呢，我们是不可以修破瓦法的。那要不然的，那就是杀人或者是自杀。那在这些征兆出现的4大隐没之后呢，我们就可以请上师 或者是自己帮别人修，甚至是亡者在这个时候可以自己修，这个就不算是杀人或自杀，就没有这个过失。之后呢，又进入一个更维系的隐没，就是显真得3个阶段。当意识进入到显的这个阶段的时候，一切显有外在的幻象都消失了，进入到中脉，只有内在的经验是什么呢？我们在顶轮的这个汉字就慢慢往下降，可是这个时候还不是融化，汉还不是融化。如果是它融化，当然是非常好的一件事。如果各位修脉气明点的人，就是可以知道说它是可以融化的。在这个内在的经验是什么？看到一个非常大的一个满月，非常的亮，非常的白。这个时候并不是开悟，只是一切这个我们平常在生的时候呢，33种嗔心分别念就消失了。所以这个时候就是我们讲的白遍，遍布一切的遍，白遍，然后是感觉到就是月光普照，这个就是3个阶段的显或者是明的阶段。那这边补充一下，第2个阶段就是增加的增，就是红遍；第3个阶段就是得到的得，或者是黑遍。
That the red R or the red bindu start coming up. Now I thought now this morning somebody died, right? Now that lady already is in this process. When I was there, you can see already the subtle element all dissolved. It's very easy to know if you have experience. Now that is she having this experience now, really very clear. So now the red R or red bindu coming out, that term is called the increasing to dissolve the appearance into the increase, which means that the red color increasing up. So that term you have the feeling kind of that like a sun shining, right? Bright, very bright, very clear. But this moment, the red color is like really like sun, very bright. So if you're a good practitioner, all the attachment that belong to the emotions attachment, there is a 40 mental faculties which belong to the attachment, or the list I have if you want to know, but it doesn't make much help for you confused. But the list of the 40, 33, all of these 37, all of these 33, all of this we have, and then 7, right? Together there's 80 mental faculties have to really dissolve within them before the going leave from this lifetime. So that's why it is very important. You will feel that. So this is the normally, if you are a good practitioner, you will understand emptiness. So there's 4 emptiness: hatred emptiness, nature of the hatred is emptiness, nature of the attachment is emptiness, nature of the ignorance emptiness, nature of all of these 3 emptiness. 4 emptiness, if you can go, you don't need support, no cha-cha, no special need. So that's why it's very important. So now when I tell that, try to think about that, try to remember that. So you will remember when you really receive, when you really there's experience. So that's why if somebody read when we are already gone, so the consciousness can still hear, so you will understand. Then last one is called to receive. Receiving means all these both bindus meet together in heart center. Is contemplated, explored, is really dead. Then it's really gone. So the experience, inner experience, your eye cannot see. Inner experience is become dark, very dark, like autumn weather in evening after sunset, some hours go. So it's full dark. Sometimes you don't see. Here to a few inches or a few meters, you cannot see. Such a darkness feeling comes, and that time the dissolve the ignorance. There is 7 mental faculties of the ignorance is called, it's dissolved. But if you are a good yogi, you will have not this experience. You will be realized the Mahamudra. So this is until now here, and what I'm not talking to you is how the element become the enemies, So the water become enemy, the earth become enemy. So there's something to learn. It's called Tao Sersum. The sound is too loud, you cannot bear anymore. The bright is too bright, you cannot bear anymore. There's something that happens, everything in this text. Okay? So actually what I'm talking, all these texts are already here. So the upper consciousness goes on. So until found the next rebirth, if it's landed to the mother's womb, which means that the forebirth, and if it's landed to in the much text say, translated Buddhagaya in this text maybe, but in Tibet actually dorje den means Vajra stage. So if you come to the Vajra stage, which is in many texts explained Buddhagaya, because then is the Buddha got enlightenment. So somehow that you cannot go to furthermore. I don't know, but this I think I have to check once more because translated Buddhagaya, but I'm not sure. In the Tibetan called dorje den, but normally we call dorje den Buddhagaya, but the text dorje den means the literally translate it will be Vajra state, or Vajra seat, seat like Vajra seat. So if you land there, so you need to check this once more. But here translated Buddhagaya is not wrong. So many Lama explain that way. But I'm not very sure why Buddhagaya. I have to ask that. I have to check once more. But in Dharmakaya, the Dharmakirti doesn't say that. He said that when you achieve Vajra stage means that you take rebirth, the pure Bodhisattva. Either come to the samsara or got the Bodhisattva. Samsara means one of this mother's womb. Mother womb means now this time the four birth altogether. And or you got the pure rebirth. So that was the Vajra stage or Vajra seat. But Dharmakirti said that. So that's why I need to check once more. So this is all about today explained. So this text is finished now. I don't need to read the one by one because I read the commentary. So it's same. So you have finished, you need to read that. This is for practice. So if you read once in a week or if you read more, you will be more clear. If you don't understand, we can ask another time. But there is one thing what you need to learn is, I said, not now. Now Bardo finished today. Maybe next life. But the Jungwa Talang, the animals to become the element become the enemy. Here is in the text, yes. So the forest become very deep and very windy in the country. Now you can imagine tsunami, something like this tsunami, or you can say the nature disasters, these kind of things. It has here, but it's not very important. I think hopefully these things will not happen to us because we are Vajrayana practitioner, and you guys learning lots of good things. So I don't want to talk this because I don't want to make you afraid.
Khi mà chúng ta
那么刚刚讲到的这个第一个阶段呢，就是极为细的以末的，只是意识，就是融入显，这个空大融入意识，这是显的阶段，这是第一个阶段。第二个阶段就是真的阶段。刚刚这个是白变，好像满月，那现在是红变，就好像这个很大的太阳一样。这个的这个红菩提就慢慢上升到心间那里。像我今天一开始我不是讲到说，今天早上我去帮一个亡故的法友修法吗？那这一些我都看得很清楚。如果你了解这个过程这个内容的话，你就可以看得很清楚。我可以看到它的一些维系的这个元素在慢慢在消失。所以到的这个第二个阶段，这个真的阶段，红变的这个阶段呢，40种的贪心呢就消失了。刚刚我们讲的 显的阶段，33种嗔心分别念就消失了；到这个增的阶段呢，40种贪心的分别念就消失了。那我们看到的内在的经验，就是看到好像日光遍照，非常的亮，一个红色的这个太阳非常的亮。那这个就是空性的，在这个时候能够显现了。那也就是4种空性：自性空、他性空、有为空、无为空等等呢，等等。这个就是空性，就是显现了。那在接下来的第3个阶段就是德的阶段，从白变这个白的这个经验到红变这个红色的太阳，白色的满月，红色的太阳。第3个阶段就是得到的得，这个得的阶段呢就是空变黑变，就是一切漆黑，好像这个深秋的晚上一样，一片漆黑，什么都看不到。那这个时候呢，7种无明的分别念也就消失了，这个是补充的，刚竹奔没讲。那光明呢，这个明点就会到了我们的心中，这是白菩提红菩提在心中结合了。我们经验就是如同秋天的夜晚一样，见不到任何东西。那在这个时候，既然这些分别妄念都没有了，有经验的瑜伽士在这个状态这个阶段就可以证得大手印的这个境界。接下来的这个4大5大，它有可能太强烈的时候，可能会变成我们的敌人。这我稍微讲一下，但是不是今天要讲的主题。也就是在声音方面的这个王者会觉得说，哇，声音好大声，太大声，这个好像雷响巨轰这样子会很恐怖。那光的话，他会觉得哇，太刺眼了，他会非常的不舒服，到自己不能忍受。那再到了这个就是刚刚竹奔所补充的这个，有的时候这些5大会变成我们的敌人，一直到得这个阶段之后呢，我们意识就全分别意识就消失了，一直到我们这个受身进入母胎为止。那在这边呢，这个祈愿文祈请文里面有讲到dorje，那这个就是讲的就是金刚的状态，就是金刚座，但是有些人英文是把它分成菩提迦叶，我不知道为什么这他们分成菩提迦叶，可能是世尊在菩提迦叶金刚座上面证悟的吧。所以这个其实在藏文上来讲，就是指的就是一个金刚的状态，或者你们可以把它想成是金刚法座这样子证的这个境界。在直供法称这个祖师过去也讲到说，金刚座这是一种有净跟不净的在这个阶段可以有净跟不净的受生。如果是净的受生的话，就是证得金刚座的果位，这是种纯净的菩萨地。那这不净的受生呢，就是4种受生，胎卵湿化4种受生了。所以到这边我已经把这个中英的祈请文讲完了。你们有机会的时候好好的读，那你们这样对这个过程会更清楚。我今天讲的中英并不是要吓你们，大家也不要害怕，只是让我们身为金刚乘的弟子要了解这个过程，但是主要还是在我们自己平常的这个修持了。那将来有机会，今天时间我们差不多了，将来有机会的话，我会再跟各位来讲5大如何变成是我们在这个中阴的过程当中变成我们的敌人。比如说风就变得非常飓风啊，或者是亚洲的台风，这样非常恐怖的一种状态。刚刚有讲到说是声音也很大声啊，光很亮等等。那竹奔有讲说这些比较不是很重要，重要的部分今天都已经讲完了。等一下可能再念一下这下半段的这个文，今天就算是圆满了。好，那我们等一下越南翻译，我看看有没有什么要补充的。那得之后呢，显真得之后，最后就昏迷了。这边补充一下，就昏迷的染污意识就融入了阿那耶识了。这个就是刚刚竹奔所讲的，就是没有意识了，一直到受生为止。所以在临终稳末有5根，眼耳鼻舌身的隐没，还有4大隐没，地水火风的隐没，还有3个阶段的隐没，就是显真得。
So that's the part of teaching. This text is finished. Well, it is all I talked here, the meaning of the text. The text you can read. And this is about the Bardo, the practice of the Bardo in the Naro Yoga. We don't teach now. The Naro Yoga has now practice, how to practice. We have to practice that. So now you know it. My family Buddha and that answers now the retreat, to make retreat. The Bardo has a retreat. Maybe there is even called the dark retreat. Sometimes a dark retreat, no light, nothing. It also belongs to the Bardo. And then there's something retreat, how to do, how to train. So all these things explained to the yoga of Naropa. But this we don't need to do now, because you at least need first part, teach other things. So that's why. So we end up today here, Bardo. So hopefully you understand something. Hopefully it was not too much talking about everything, but I hope got something. So we will stop here today and we finish the part of teaching.
所以到这边呢，我已经把这个中英祈请文的这个本文已经讲了。那其他的呢，将来有机会再讲。当然，这个中英是可以修习的，我们修学的中英的法教。那在那洛六法也是可以修法的，那甚至在那洛六法有那洛六法的闭关，有关中英的部分呢，甚至我们有讲到所谓的闭黑关，就是看不到任何东西，就是在属于中英的这个闭关，这是来帮助我们来训练在这个过程要怎么样来修持。那这是属于那洛六法的部分，我们今天还不用讲到那里。那我希望今天讲了很多的内容，希望对各位来讲内容不是太多，也不是太沉重。那我们今天的教授就到这边告一个段落。好，我们等一下越南翻译。
Để hiểu về trung hữu rồi, thì đó là những gì mà thầy muốn chia sẻ với chúng ta về trung hữu, về Bardo.
Okay, so I think that's it. So I hope you understand something about Bardo.
Hy vọng đối với lại những mà thầy đã trao truyền chúng ta đã hiểu
这
được
就是中英的教授，我希望你们有一些了解，有机会的话再来修持。非常谢谢各位，一切的这个请法者跟一切的译者，我希望的今的法教对各位了解中英有所帮助，谢谢各位。
Empowerment。
现在是主办人在讲话，那他讲到就是阿基佛母的秘密灌顶，因为这个法教是4月22号给的法教，因为当时我们在闭关，所以我就不能翻译，所以今天才来补翻。那阿基佛母的秘密灌顶已经大家都领受过了，那接下来呢这个星期一他们本来是要讲这个手印法器的，但是主奔临时有事，所以我们法宝典藏我们会安排其他的法教，可能是噶千仁波切或者是主奔彻灵的法教。所以今天的直播先到这边告一个段落。我们先来那我们先来做一下回向文。以此功德得证一切见，击败一切过患之敌众，生老病死杂乱诸波涛，轮回大海，愿度诸众生。祈求上师贵体圣妙康，祈求尊生寿命极长久，祈求事业旗帜圆满盛，愿得无离上师其加持。犹如文殊勇士大智慧，复是普贤菩萨如是行，虽悉彼等一切我学习，此功德等一切尽回向。佛陀三身得正之加持，法性不变真谛之加持，生邪坚固积聚之加持，如是回向，其愿远成就。以我以及一切有情众，三世所积善业与佛性，愿我与等虚空诸众生，速证无上正等觉妙宝。所知遍照遍智法之尊，缘起界处自在直供巴，人间八之教法遍有记，讲修愿由闻思修持之。金刚总持地利那洛与 马巴密勒法王冈波巴帕摩珠巴尊圣直贡巴愿诸噶举上师皆吉祥。圣境之初，阿亚提婆明，多康地区樱花各种性，世间护主，心指确定巴，具得嘎千，长寿住百劫。殊胜菩提心妙宝，未生其者愿生其，已生者亦不退失，其愿辗转更增上。好的，那我们今天先到这边告一段落，先把直播关掉。那大家有什么疑问，我们在Zoom 上面再继续讨论。那如果各位是看 YouTube 的话，那需要这些照片跟种子字的话，再请写信到法宝典藏 dtp2024@yahoo.com。我们星期一会安排，下个星期可能是135吧，会安排一些法教。到时候同样的时间。还没决定是要先翻噶千仁波切还是回放竹奔彻灵的，我到时候可能明天再发法讯给各位。谢谢各位参与，也谢谢商机佛网，阿弥陀佛。我们现在先把直播关掉。